I didn't think I'd be back this soon, but words need to be said about trapdoors in Minecraft. Now, I recognize that Minecraft doesn't always have the most rational crafting recipes in the world, but this, friends, this is egregious. So let's take a look at just how bad it is. First things first, what's the problem that I'm getting at? Well, trapdoors in Minecraft have recipes that seem to be rather wasteful. Whoa, Team Trees! 6 full cubic meter blocks of wooden planks craft 2 comparatively tiny trapdoors. And for their crimes against humanity, I've decided to expose just how wasteful Mojang's trapdoor crafting recipes are to the public. Consider this a PSA and a warning to Mojang. I'm watching you and I'm in your walls. Now, generally speaking, this is a pretty straightforward comparison. Assuming trapdoors are made fully out of the planks used in the recipe, which seems reasonable enough, we can just calculate the difference in volume between the 6 planks in the recipe and the 2 trapdoors that the recipe yields. In each case, this means that there are 6 cubic meters of planks being used to craft the trapdoors, which is great, but there's a slight complication because iron trapdoors aren't crafted from blocks, but rather from 4 iron ingots. However, we can remind ourselves that 9 iron ingots form 1 iron block, and find that the volume of iron used to craft 1 iron trapdoor is equal to 4/9 of a cubic meter, or 0.444 cubic meters. Now, the work doesn't quite end there. Many trapdoor designs, in fact, all but 3, have visible holes in them. So, how can we account for this? By converting from cubic meters to cubic pixels. So I've taken the liberty of counting the number of missing pixels on the top face of each trapdoor variant by hand, which should not have been as tedious as it was. Then we can calculate the area of the remaining face of each trapdoor, multiply by each trapdoor's height of 3 pixels, and convert it to cubic meters to find that the calculations I put on screen are accurate, and also to confirm that you should really subscribe and leave a like if you haven't already. Please support my lunacy, I promise you won't regret it. Finally, we can use this equation to determine how much of the volume of the materials used compares to the volume of the trapdoor we get. And, in so doing, we can create what I'm reasonably confident is the first ever
tier list of Minecraft trapdoor crafting recipe wastefulness.
Or, if you prefer, Tlomtecru for short. Delightful. So, what are the results? Coming in at F tier is our greatest offender of crafting recipe nonsense. Acacia trapdoors at 95.2% wastefulness. This means that over 95% of the volume of wood you've put into making these trapdoors has, for our unscientific purposes, vanished. At D tier are warped trapdoors, standing at 95.1% wastefulness. Then at C tier, we have jungle, crimson, and oak trapdoors, grouped together at about 94.7% wastefulness. At B tier, we have a 3-way tie amongst the trapdoors with no transparent gaps. Spruce, dark oak, and birch trapdoors stand at a whopping 93.8% wastefulness. And at S tier, because it's simply in a league of its own, at a mere 63.7% wastefulness, iron trapdoors are your least wasteful trapdoor crafting recipe. If you want to see more stuff like this, consider subscribing, and if you like Encanto, check out my last video. See you next time.